Paul's letters and the entire New Testament was written in what anthropologists call a high-context culture. People who communicate with each other in high-context societies presume a broadly shared, generally well-understood knowledge of the context of anything referred to in conversation or in writing. For example, all ancient Mediterranean farmers used the same implements, in the same way, for the same purposes, and at the same season of the year. Let's say an ancient Mediterranean peasant says, "I farmed this plot last year." That seems pretty simple. But every one of his peers would know that this person was a tenant farmer in debt to a patron for seed, using a similar shallow plow, planting right before rainy season, which began in October in the Eastern Mediterranean, then plowing the field after the seeds were sown. Obviously, all of that auxiliary background information could not be understood by a modern United States city dweller, and much of it would be mysterious even to 21st century United States farmers who do not plant seeds before plowing. The point here is that cultures differ in the degree to which people are required to fill in the blanks for the persons with whom they communicate. Thus, writers in such high-context cultures, like the Middle Eastern Mediterranean world of the Bible, usually produce sketchy and impressionistic documents, leaving much to the reader's or hearer's socially attuned imagination in rather static societies. That's how it was for Paul in all of his letters, folks. Documents from high-context cultures, like every book in the New Testament and in the Old Testament and every letter of Paul, encode so much information in widely known and understood symbolic or stereotypical statements. For this reason, these documents require the reader to fill in large gaps in what is left unwritten. Paul expected all of his readers to know the context and therefore to understand what was only implicit in his writings. In this way, biblical authors, like the New Testament authors, like Paul, like the authors of most documents written in the high-context ancient Mediterranean world, presumed readers to have a broad and adequate knowledge of the social context presumed in what those documents describe. Biblical documents like Paul's letters offer very little by way of extended explanation. So, when Paul, a Pharisaic Israelite, writes that he was sent to the other peoples, usually translated into English as Gentiles, for example, he feels no necessity to explain for his readers what going to the peoples might concretely mean. He makes no mention of the crucial and salient ethnocentric social boundaries in antiquity between insiders and outsiders, in-group and out-group, between Israelites and everyone else. Members of the house of Israel, like Paul, lumped all the rest of the world's population into that bag, the other peoples. That Greek word is ethnē, from where we get the word ethnic. It gets translated through the Latin into Gentiles. It literally means peoples. And when used by Israelites like Paul to set themselves off from other peoples, the word ethnē meant everyone else. Other peoples, peoples other than us. So, was Paul evangelizing other ethnic groups? No way. Rather, he was evangelizing those Israelites living among the ethnē. It's a high-context reality when you read Paul's letters, folks.
Yes?
I'm just curious, when would you place the inclusion of non-Israelite Gentiles into the Jesus community?
Well, certainly by Constantine. Cuius regio eris religio, right? Constantine declares it the state religion. Well, then they all come pouring in. This is the thing to be. So you're certainly going to have it. There may be some before that, but Paul don't really care about them. Certainly when he gets to Romans 11, he's talking about some non-Israelite Jesus group members. But as I said, he insults them roundly, and it's not his business, and it's not what he's interested in.